Good corner. An emphatic punch by Bono. Sevilla keeper. Nice idea. Baguette. Angled cross-court, cross-field pass. Looking for this man, Kurzawa. Lopetegui had a very brief spell in charge of the Spanish national team. An emphatic punch by Bono before he joined Real Madrid. That didn't really work out for him, but he's found his feet again here at Sevilla. Gabi just about getting the ball off in time. That's a heavy ball. It's given away the ball. That's a crucial interception. Well played, Bichiabu. Took it back to his goalkeeper. There's the miss hit. Sevilla were quick to pounce on that. Looking for a slide rule pass. Sevilla enjoying a good early possession. It was clumsy. Garvey stood his ground. Took it back to his goalkeeper. There's the miss hit. Wayward pass. Tidied up by PSG. As a form of game. Herrera. Malikadi acknowledges the pass. Herrera grimaces. Perhaps feeling thinks he should have done better. Pass. Tidied up by PSG. As a form of game. I apologise, we have a technical problem. We've momentarily lost the picture. Our technical
enjoy.
بمثابة الاختبار الأخير للفريق الفرنسي الكبير من خلال هذه المباراة، من خلال المباريات الماضية أمام نادي لوماو، أمام نادي شامبلي، ثم أوكسبورغ الألماني، ثم أورليون الفريق الفرنسي، وهنا في هذه المباراة أمام نادي إشبيلية. أشرف يتحدث مع حكم المباراة يطالب بالقرار هنا في المحاولة الماضية، ويبدو أن كان يطالب بوجود خطأ لمصلحته، لكن هذا أمر غير موجود بالنسبة لحكم بمثابة المباراة. لاحظوا هنا الكرة الملعوبة وبعد ذلك القرار الذي أتى من جانب حكم المباراة في وسط الملعب هنا الآن لمصلحة إشبيلية. جوردان هنا يلعب الكرة إلى سوسو. اختبار حقيقي لكلا الفريقين في هذه المباراة. تصل إلى أشرف حكيمي اللاعب الذي افتتح باكورة أهدافه بالهدف الرائع جدا في مرمى أوكسبورغ الألماني. قدم مباراة كبيرة وهذا لا شك فيه بالنسبة لأشرف حكيمي، اللاعب المتألق واللاعب الذي يتوقع الكثيرون بأن سيأتي بالمستوى الكبير مع الفريق الباريسي في الموسم القادم. لاعب الذي توج بلقب الكالتشو مع الانتر الموسم الماضي، وينتظر هنا الفوز على المستوى المحلي في بطولة الليغ الفرنسية إلى جانب بقية البطولات. والحديث عن بطولة دوري الأبطال، البطولة المستعصية والبطولة التي يريدها الفريق الباريسي، وبالتالي لدينا الأسماء الكبيرة الموجودة ولدينا الأسماء التي عزز بها الفريق بداية طبعا من هذا الموسم. الحديث هنا عن الأسماء الكبيرة كسيرخيو راموس المدافع الاسباني الكبير وواحد من اساطير نادي ريال مدريد، الى جانب طبعا فينالدوم نجم نادي ليفربول الفريق الانجليزي، الى جانب الحارس الاكبر والاعظم حاليا في القاره الاوروبيه، اتحدث عن جانلويجي دوناروما، طبعا الحارس الايطالي الكبير، إلى جانب أشرف حكيمي الظهير الأيمن الطائر القادم من نادي انتر ميلانو الفريق الإيطالي. تضاف هذه الأسماء كلها إلى الأسماء الباريسية الكبيرة الحاضرة هنا مع الفريق الباريسي ككيلور نافاس، ماركينيوس، ماركو فيراتي، وبقية الأسماء الحاضرة ككيليان مبابي ونيمار وأنخيل دي ماريا، وبقية الأسماء الحاضرة طبعا الباريسية. خطأ على كريم رقيق، اللاعب الذي تسبب بالمخالفة على حسابه ومن أمام أندر هيريرا لاعب الأسباني. هنا لاحظ هنا كرة أشرف حكيمي، يا لها من مباراة كبيرة أظهرها وقدمها أشرف حكيمي في المباراة الماضية أمام نادي أوكسبورغ الألماني، قدم مباراة كبيرة وسجل حضوره المثالي أمام نادي أورليون المباراة الماضية، على اعتبار أنه كان غائبا عن مباراة أوكسبورغ الألماني في المباراة الماضية. سجل هدف في المباراة الوحيد أمام نادي أورليون، وفي مباراة أوكسبورغ الحضور بالنسبة للفريق الباريسي كان لدراكسلر وفي تلك المباراة، والمدافع الألماني يومها بالخطأ في مرمى شباكه عندما أحرز الهدف في الدقيقة 91 من عمر تلك المباراة. هذا أشرف حكيمي، اللاعب المنضبط، اللاعب الذي دائما ما كان يقدم الإضافات، اللاعب الذي حضر مع نادي ريال مدريد وقدم المستويات الرائعة في كتيبة زين الدين زيدان، ذهب لإيطاليا واستمر بذات العطاء. هنا كرة ملعوبة إلى الأمام لكنها أبعدت، وصلت لماورو إيكاردي المهاجم الأرجنتيني، يبحث عن الكرة العرضية الملعوبة هي كذلك إلى الأمام، بالتالي مرت هنا أبعدت من جانب دفاعات الفريق الأندلسي نادي إشبيليا. مستوى رائع قدم السيد جولين لوبوتيجي مع الفريق الأندلسي، مع الكبير الأندلسي نادي إشبيليا، بالتالي أعتقد بأن لوبوتيجي وجد نفسه مع إشبيليا، وإشبيليا كذلك وجد نفسه مع المدرب الأسباني الحارس السابق جولين لوبوتيجي. مرة أخرى هنا أندر هيريرا، كرة ملعوبة لمصلحة الفريق الباريسي، بيتشابو هنا من الجهة اليسرى إلى إيريك إبيمبي، ملعوبة الكرة لمصلحة عناصر باريس سان جيرمان، وصلت إلى كيرر الألماني، يتقدم هنا، يبحث عن مرور، يبحث عن عبور، يبحث عن مسلك، يبحث عن مسار. يا سلام على كرة ملعوبة لأشرف حكيمي. أشرف هنا الكرة الملعوبة لكن طالت، مرت، لا تزال هنا الكرة الملعوبة لكن تحظى بتغطية، بالتالي أوكامبوس على مستوى التغطية في هذه اللحظات للفريق الأسباني، بالتالي رمية جانبية لا، حكم المباراة يشير على وجود ركلة مرمى لمصلحة إشبيليا هنا في الدقائق العشر الأولى من زمن
stronger. Central defenders, Kilo Kera, have gone up for the corner kick. Decent delivery, and that's well taken. Very well taken indeed by Bono, the Canadian goalkeeper for Sevilla. Good confident take, that'll really boost the confidence of the defenders in front of him. This is very good press by PSG. Not giving Sevilla any time at all on the ball. And that's good defending as well. Ismail Gabi, not just about silky skills up front, he's a very hard worker. There's a chance. Onto his left foot for Rakitic. Well, it barely got off the floor. Didn't really bother goalkeeper Keylor Navas any. Just knew he was going to try to play it onto his left boot. Now a little bit of space opening up in the midfield here. Can PSG exploit it? Good opportunity, and that's a good stop. Very good stop indeed. Bono, the goalkeeper, he'll be well pleased with that. But it all started with that cushioned header by Andy Herrera. Julian Draxler exploiting the space and letting in Hakimi. I told you he loves to get forward. Scored against Orléans, wasn't to be there. Another corner kick though for PSG. Well taken, will it fall kindly? Garbi loves to shoot on goal. Slightly flashed at that. Bono, by far the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. Having trouble keeping possession of Sevilla. Oh, that's nicely done. Hakimi again. Oh, just wide of the far post. Well, if you're just joining the game and you'd never seen this man play before, you wouldn't think he was a fullback. Such an offensive mentality. Attacking mentality, I mean. Don't take that the wrong way. Well, two very close. He seems to be getting closer. Nicely done by defender and goalkeeper. Oh dear, not so nicely done that. I think you can tell that Sevilla are a little bit behind PSG, as I said before, in terms of their pre-season sharpness and match fitness. Herrera goes back to go forward. That's to nobody in particular. Here's the press again, forcing Bono into a hurried clearance. That's one for En-Nesyri to chase, and chase he does. But the PSG shape in defence is pretty good. I think because Hakimi loves to get so far forward. Idrissa Gueye virtually playing as a central defender there. Might be called into action here. There's a switch of play. Good first touch, early ball in. But thankfully, Kurzawa deflected it, drawing the sting out of the cross. Ocampos, Argentinian. Yet to find his range. Handy player when he does, though. And this time it's Sevilla's turn to press, putting this man, Kera, under pressure. Garbi doing his defensive bit yet again. Draxler wreaking havoc. Look at that. Because of the Germans' awareness, ball forced to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Navas. Reduces space. And again by Jordan. Oh dear. Ocampos really overhitting that cross. At least I think it was a cross. Kazava waiting for a run out. Pretty hot and humid down here on the southern coast of Portugal. Popular holiday destination, of course. Navas. Rekic. Nabi thought about the back pass. Just coming into the game, Sevilla. Navas. That's a very good interception. Kurzawa absolutely furious. Nicely cushioned header by Draxler. Equally tidy play by Herrera. Dina Ibembe ran into trouble. Ocampos. Jordan. Never showed too much of that. Garbi, well aware of the heavy first touch. He rarely makes a heavy first touch, Garbi. And that's why he's in the starting 11. Ocampos. Now this really is a baptism of fire for Bichiabu. Heavy first touch. Luckily for him, Ocampos skied the follow-up challenge, follow-up pass, I should say. Bit relaxed on the bench, Pochettino. Both teams cancelling each other out. Rather like a game of football chess at the minute. First Route 1 ball played out of defence by Sevilla. Comes to nothing. Well, they're beginning to use the full width of the pitch now, Sevilla. It's the grimace on Kurzawa's face. Yeah, appeals. Referee hears them. Quickly taken, as he likes to. Navas. Well, it was a hurried clearance by the goalkeeper. And that'll be a throw-in to PSG. Coming up to the halfway point, the opening 45 minutes. And space, certainly much more of a premium in the former friendlies we've had this past couple of weeks. Bimbe. Not the best of balls. Tagabi put the youngster under pressure straight away. Jordan, it's a bit heavy. Referee Jean Malero asking for a bit of respect. That's right, that was a nasty challenge by Garbi. Navas doesn't dwell on the ball too long, the 35-year-old. Same age as his friend, Sergio Ramos. Ramos didn't make the journey because he's picked up a calf strain in his left calf. Advantage played, despite the shirt pull. Navas gets behind the defence. Good delivery. Heavy touch. And so was that. Crude challenge on Icardi. Gets a helping hand up by Draxler and Rakitic with a wry smile. And he's still smiling. He's smiling more than Icardi, that's for sure. Gate speeds the ball up across the halfway line. Garbi cuts in, as he loves to do. That's a good call by Icardi. PSG just spreading the ball around, asking questions of the Sevilla defence. Hakimi. Little give and go. Bimbe. Yeah. Lost control a bit for a split second. Gave the defender the time to get in the way. It's a busy player. That's the loss of control. The ball was always running away from him. Sevilla very comfortable in possession, as indeed are so many Spanish sides, renowned for their excellent close control and technique, and that's the commentator's curse, because that was very poor control by Suso, but still with the Spanish side. Exactly bossing the midfield, Rakitic, and that's a compliment to PSG. Draxler looking for the ball over the top. Took a deflection. 50-50. Man down. Now, was that a clash of heads between Hakimi and Rekic? Or was it a trailing elbow? Well, he just shot up. Let's take a second look. It's more the trailing left elbow. That left arm doing the damage, but he's back on his feet. Apologies from the culprit, and play will go on. Rakitic retired from the international game, so he didn't appear at the European Championships for Croatia. No doubt he would have watched the thrilling game between his adopted country Spain and his native Croatia. One of the standout games in the last 16 from the European Championships. Spain eventually going through on penalties. Good ball right down the middle. Suso, finding Jordan. Favouring the left wing a lot to Sevilla at the minute. I'll be in the Champions League group phase next season. This coming season, I should say. And who knows? They might well face Paris Saint-Germain. Now that's not way too casual there. In Nesri. Now there's his clearance, reached the halfway line. Good period of possession for the Spanish side. A very good period. It's been a while since PSG actually touched the ball. Rakitic. Oof. Well, I don't think it was as close as it sounded. Saw the space open up in front of him. Worth an effort. And both teams cancelling each other out, finding it hard to make the breakthrough. Gabi playing on the left. We have seen him on the right in the friendlies as well. Likes to cut in onto his right boot, just a 17-year-old. Pichiavu trying one over the top, nearly came off. Rakitic, fantastic pass. But can he keep it in? No is the answer. Not too far off though, great vision. Look how deep he was when he made the pass. That's his earlier shot. Gabi waiting for the ball to come to him. Well, that's ambitious by Jordan, especially against a midfield of PSG's calibre. Well played, Icardi. There's the shot. Draxler over the bar. Good move, though. Very fast counter-attack. Herrera, lovely touch by Icardi. That's a good chest control. Now that's hugging the sideline. Well, they weren't on the same page there. The Sevilla forwards. It's a chance of PSG. Gay takes it over the halfway line and gets lucky with the deflection. Well, you just feel it needs a moment of magic, a flash of individual inspiration, hopefully from PSG. Herrera telling Hakimi where he wanted him. In fact, it was Kerrer. Hakimi is way further up the pitch. Here he is. Draxler. Now. Nothing, says the referee. Garbi appeals. Did get a penalty in one of the earlier friendlies. Converted by Icardi. And that was the second friendly at the Uredu training ground. Ended in a 2-2 draw against Chambly, the third tier of French football. No, there's nothing in that. Well, interestingly, in the previous game, PSG TV interviewed Xavi Simons. He was explaining how he'd beefed up. He'd been hitting the weights to become more physical. And obviously, when you're as young as Ismail Garbi, you're not quite fully developed. That will come over time. And we have a substitution already for Sevilla. And the man coming off is Jordan, who was injured in a previous friendly. So that's the end of his game. Must admit, I was quite surprised when I saw his name on the start sheet. And he's replaced by Pedro Ortiz. Well won. Icardi just seemed to hang in the air. José Angel. Gudelia. Here's the serve again. Brilliant. Oh, what a stop. Now, is it a penalty? It is a penalty. Well, that looked like a very good save to me. And Navas gets a yellow card for his pains. Well, I would certainly like to see that again. Now, the Costa Rican apologizes. Tilo Kere argues the PSG case. Well, I thought he got a touch to that. Here's a different angle. Pichiabu helps the ball along. Well, he did come out with his feet in the air, Navas. Well, maybe he did get a touch, but only after coming out with his legs. And it's certainly his foot raised. And that's why referee Jean Malero is given a penalty. Well, one way Navas can make amends, of course, is by saving the spot kick. And Neziri is still on the ground. Yeah, I was thinking he must need attention. I'm surprised it took them so long. Well, it was a through ball that caused the panic. We saw that a few times in the match against both Augsburg and Orléans. Let's take a second look. Well, you can see why the referee, Jean Malero, gave the penalty, but equally, you've seen them not given, if you see what I mean. No VAR, no video assistant referee here. Well, anxious faces, anxious expressions on those faces. Well, I doubt very much whether it's going to be En-Nesyri who'll take the spot kick. Keylor Navas up against Rakitic. Bit of gamesmanship, perhaps. Rakitic just inside the far post. Perfectly taken penalty. Absolutely nothing Keylor Navas could do to stop that. And Sevilla are 1-0 up. Well, Navas continues to berate himself. That was his first major contribution to the game. Made like a starfish, all for nothing. Didn't guess the right way. There's Rakitic, the Croatian, sent it to the goalkeeper's right. 1-0, Sevilla. And you would not think his side had just scored the opening goal of the game. Of course, it is only a friendly. Coach is not investing too much emotionally in the pre-season game, but they are observing very, very closely and carefully. Now, 5 minutes to go before half-time. Can PSG get back into the game? Always a great time to score a goal just before the break. It's a psychological blow to the opposition. Bichabu unwittingly, in attempting to intercept the ball, he actually helped it on its way for Sevilla. But of course, he had to go for it. Not with hardly any fans inside a relatively big stadium. Can really pick up on the players' communication. And certainly they're shouting. And you can tell Gabe not best pleased with that. And neither will the coach be either. There's the distinctive look of the Serbian centre-back, Nemanja Gudelja. Chiabu. He was expecting that. And there's a late challenge. And a yellow card. Well, there may be a friendly, but the referee isn't messing around. Yellow card for Ismail Garbi. It's his second rash challenge of the game. He was expecting that. Raking his studs against the opposition. And there's a late challenge. And the yellow card. He'll wind up with the yellow card to his name. Will Pochettino substitute him sometime in the second half? Give another youngster a chance. Gay. Dine Ebimbe. That's a lovely pass by Herrera. Oh, fantastic defending. Managing to scoop the ball away from Cazava. Whilst he was on the deck, take a bow, Jose Angel. Very well played indeed. The second touch. Fantastic defending. But it is a PSG ball. Could this be the chance to snatch an equaliser? The corner kick. Short at that time to the near post. Garbi. Shot deflected. Rakitic. Quickly taken. The throw-in. Well, that was the idea. Not to be. Cazava draws breath. Draxler offers the run. And Sevilla, through that man, Captain Navas, under pressure. Well, Rakitic screamed. It's a great challenge. Well, too physical, says the referee. The challenge by Bichiabu on Enesiri. Let's take another look. I'm not convinced by that. And the protests continue. Both by Icardi and Draxler. Yeah, Bichiabu is a very tall young man, 1.96 meters. But he didn't look to be throwing his weight around or even leaning too much against Enesiri. Well, 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this opening 45. We're into the second minute of that. Lopetegui will be the happier of the two coaches, simply because his team are leading, but there really hasn't been that much in it. I think PSG have had the better of the chances in this opening half. Particular, two good chances for Hakimi. Herrera, excellent ball. Now, a chance for Hakimi and PSG to get back on level terms. Good ball in. Goudelia doing his defensive bit. And yet another corner kick to PSG. Most of them have come from the opposite wing. He's got the last of the evening sunshine to contend with. So that's finger, it's a good header. Flashes across the goal now. Still with PSG. Good call. And there is the half-time whistle. So Sevilla, Julian Lopetegui's side take a 1-0 lead in at half-time. Very close game. This match very much in the balance. Join us again for the second half in 15 minutes. In this area when it comes to football. They beat Las Palmas 1-0 in their previous. All of the match officials come from. Didn't start the last game against Orléans. And the squad. And it is PSG who kick off to really stamp his authority on. That's a heavy ball. It's given away the ball. That's a crucial interception. There's the miss hit. Sevilla were quick to pounce on that. With PSG, I mean. I think you knew that.
الأرجنتيني يبحث عن الكرة العرضية الملعوبة هي كذلك إلى الأمام، بالتالي مرت ملعوبة لأشرف حكيمي. أشرف هنا الكرة الملعوبة لكن طالت، مرت لا تزال هنا.
Corner kick. Decent delivery, and that's well taken. There's a chance. Onto his left foot for Rakitic. Just knew he'd be up in the midfield here. Can PSG exploit it? Good opportunity. And that's a good forward. Scored against Orléans. Wasn't to be there. Exploiting the space and letting in Hakimi. Well taken. Will it fall kindly? Well, that's nicely done. Hakimi again. Oh, an offensive mentality. Attacking me here. There's a switch of play. Good first touch, only ball in. Heavy first touch. Look at the pull. Now that's gets him behind the defence. Good day, Bimbe. Yeah. It's a busy player. That's the loss of control. It's been a while since PSG actually touched the ball. Rakitic. Oof, pass. Saw the space open up in front of him. Well done. Especially against a midfield of PSG's calibre. Well played, Icardi. There's a shot. Herrera. Lovely touch by Icardi. Draxler. Now. No, this. Brilliant. Oh, what a stop. Here's a different angle. Bichiabu helps the ball along. Argues the PSG case. Penalty. Well, that looked like a very good save to me. And Navas gets a yellow card. Rakitic. Just into nothing. Didn't guess the right. Made like a starfish. Well, Navas continues to berate himself. He was expecting that. It's his second. Well, there may be a friendly, but the referee isn't messing around. Now, a chance for Hakimi and PSG to get back on level terms. Good ball in. Here is the half-time whistle. In this area when it comes to football. They beat Las Palmas 1-0 in their previous. All of the match officials come from. Didn't start the last game against Orléans. And the squad. And it is PSG who kick off to really stamp his authority on. That's a heavy ball. It's given away the ball. That's a crucial interception. There's the miss hit. Sevilla were quick to pounce on that. With PSG, I mean. I think you knew that.
الأرجنتيني يبحث عن الكرة العرضية الملعوبة هي كذلك إلى الأمام. بالتالي مرت ملعوبة لأشرف حكيمي. أشرف هنا الكرة الملعوبة لكن طالت مرت لا تزال هنا.
Corner kick. Decent delivery, and that's well taken. There's a chance. Onto his left foot for Rakitic. He just knew he'd be up in the midfield here. Can PSG exploit it? Good opportunity, and that's a good forward. Scored against Orléans, wasn't to be there. Exploiting the space and letting in Hakimi. Well taken. Will it fall kindly? Well, that's nicely done. Hakimi again. Oh, an offensive mentality. Attacking here. There's a switch of play. Good first touch. Only ball in. Heavy first touch. Look at the pull. Now that's gets behind the defence. Good day, Bimbe. Yeah. It's a busy player. That's the loss of control. It's been a while since PSG actually touched the ball. Rakitic. Oof, pass. Saw the space open up in front of him. Well done. Especially against a midfield of PSG's calibre. Well played, Icardi. There's a shot. Herrera. Lovely touch by Icardi. Draxler. Now. Yeah, this. Brilliant. Oh, what a stop. Here's a different angle. Pichiabu helps the ball along, argues the PSG case. Penalty. Well, that looked like a very good save to me. And Navas gets a yellow card. Rakitic. Just into nothing. Didn't guess the right. Made like a starfish. Well, Navas continues to berate himself. He was expecting that. It's his second. Well, there may be a friendly, but the referee isn't messing around. Now, a chance for Hakimi and PSG to get back on level terms. Good ball in. Here is the half-time whistle. In this area when it comes to football. They beat Las Palmas 1-0 in their previous. All of the match officials come from. Didn't start the last game against Orléans. And the squad. And it is PSG who kick off to really stamp his authority on. That's a heavy ball. It's given away the ball. That's a crucial interception. There's the miss hit. Sevilla were quick to pounce on that. With PSG, I mean. I think you knew that.
الأرجنتيني يبحث عن الكرة العرضية الملعوبة هي كذلك إلى الأمام. بالتالي مرت ملعوبة لأشرف حكيمي. أشرف هنا الكرة الملعوبة لكن طالت مرت لا تزال هنا.
Corner kick. Decent delivery, and that's well taken. Here's a chance. Onto his left foot for Rakitic. Just knew he'd be up in the midfield here. Can PSG exploit it? Good opportunity, and that's a good forward. Scored against Orléans, wasn't to be there. Exploiting the space and letting in Hakimi. Well taken. Will it fall kindly? Well, that's nicely done. Hakimi again. Oh, an offensive mentality. Attacking me here. There's a switch of play. Good first touch. Early ball in. Heavy first touch. Look at the pull. Navas gets behind the defence. Good day, Bimbe. Yeah. It's a busy player. That's the loss of control. It's been a while since PSG actually touched the ball. Rakitic. Oof, pass. Saw the space open up in front of him. Well done. Especially against a midfield of PSG's calibre. Well played, Icardi. There's the shot. Herrera. Lovely touch by Icardi. Draxler. Now. Yeah, this led to the goal converted by Ivan Rakitic. There he is, on the left of the picture. Former Barcelona player. It was well taken. Credit where it's due. It all came about after the Sevilla forward, Enesiri, was alleged to have been brought down by Keylor Navas. Sevilla's coach, Julen Lopetegui, he'll be pleased. They've been very interesting to have been a fly on the wall of both sides' changing rooms during the half-time break. And here are the PSG team. Glad to see Ander Herrera as he came off at the end of the first half. He was grimacing and seemed to be massaging his lower back. That's obviously been looked at. Xavi Simons isn't wearing his training bib. So I wonder if he'll be one of the new introductions at the start of the second half, as PSG try to get back into the game. This, of course, all part of the big build-up to the first official competitive match of the season. And there you have it. The youngsters are about to come on. You can see Kalimuendo, Diallo, Simons. But who will be making way for them? That's the question. I'd be surprised if Ismail Gabi is substituted at some time, as he's on a yellow card, that is. You also saw Teddy Allo, a man who didn't have a name on his shirt. First up, substitution for Sevilla, number 11. Not quite clear who he's come on for. Well, we'll have to piece it together as the second half gets underway. Well, Ismail Gabi still on the pitch. Oh, I beg his pardon, that's Thilo Kehrer. Not too dissimilar. And it is Sevilla who kick off the second half. And straight away, PSG are up and at them, so to speak. Dramatic interception there by Kehrer, but it comes at a price. Now, I can tell you that Munir has come on for Sevilla, but it's not a like-for-like substitution, because the man who's made way for him is the central defender, Gudelia. Well, Kehrer came flying in there. And luckily, Oscar is okay. If anything, Oscar was off balance. Made the challenge look actually worse than it seemed. Well played, Siemens. Rakitic biding his time, letting the ball do the work. Pochettino is in his technical zone. Rakitic tries the cross-field diagonal pass, and that's perfect. Oh, Suso just couldn't get a clean contact on Navas' pass. You can tell he's disgusted with himself. Some crunching jewels in the air at the start of the second half. Campos nearly taking out his coach, Lopetegui. Injecting pace and enthusiasm. This is good to see. Hakimi, nicely weighted ball. Good drag back, and there's the equaliser. 1-1. Icardi, superbly worked goal. And you've got to say, PSG started this second half with a lot more urgency than they showed at times in the first. Started deep in defence. And look at that. Almo Kaliwendo, deep. That's his second contribution. Spreading it wide to Hakimi. This is his third touch. There's the pass. And how about that? Icardi loves scoring goals, the Argentinian. But that goal, you've really got to give the credit to this man on the ball now. Almo Kaliwendo. And what an inspired substitution by coach Pochettino. 1-1. Game on. Sevilla looking to restore their lead straight from the off. That's going to hurt Draxler. And a bit of pressure now at PSG, deep in defence. Loose ball. Rakitic just tidying up. Oh, I say. Bono. Not sure his coach will have appreciated that. Got the better of Icardi that time. Lightning doesn't always strike twice. Oscar. Good chest control, but very well intercepted by Draxler. Great anticipation. Simons. Got an able and willing runner in Kaliwendo. Cuts onto his right boot. Well smothered and covered by the goalkeeper, Bono. But what an impact he's had at the start of the second half. Kaliwendo loves to run at defenders, which he did there. Jose Angel turned him inside out. Good ball by Rakitic to Ocampos. The game's lost its pace 5 minutes into the second half. Everything's relative. PSG came out all guns blazing. They've got exactly what they wanted with that quick equaliser. Very tidy play by Draxler. Simons. Trying a little bit too hard there almost. Not as ambitious. Got away with it though. Wins the free kick. Third goal for Icardi in these pre-season friendlies. Rakitic. It's his favourite pass. Finds his captain, Navas. Suso losing the ball. And PSG have a throw in. He'll be more pleased now than he was at the end of the first half. Mauricio Pochettino. Some transfer news for Sevilla. They've just acquired Eric Lamela, Argentinian forward from Tottenham Hotspur, with a very exciting player, Brian Hill, going the other way to North London. Hill is an exciting left winger. He's even been described to George Best, amongst others, would you believe? Currently on duty for Spain at the Olympics in Tokyo. And PSG have a representative at the Olympics as well, in Timothée Pembele. For France, of course, that is, I should say. That's nicely played. And well shepherded. Very well shepherded indeed. And 10 minutes into the second half, that's a reminder of the score. Midfield proving a key battleground. Yeah, Herrera. Referee waves play on. Herrera jumps back up. 3 against 5, goes for goal, cuts inside. Danger still for PSG, and that's an easy catch. Keylor Navas. Well, it was Munir, the substitute, causing the damage. Down the middle. Easy enough for the Costa Rican goalkeeper. Well, that's one of the substitutions you see. Abdou Diallo. He's come on for Bichiabu. Hakimi loses the ball. Space here at the far post. Sousa, the man who just had the shot, couldn't control the ball mid-air. PSG pinned back in defence here. Appeal for a free kick. He kind of gets away with it. This time Kalimwendo finds his appeal falling on deaf ears. Crunching tackle. Intensity just beginning to crank up here. Campos. Good first touch. Captain Navas goes on an overlap run. Not needed. Rakitic. Campos. Keeps his balance, stays on his feet. Simon's excellent challenge. Draxler. Herrera, there you see it. Touches his lower back. Doesn't seem 100%. Not sure he'll last all the half. But he's such an important player for PSG. You can see him trying to loosen that right side and his right foot and leg in particular. But PSG need him at 100% this Sunday for that Champions Trophy game against Lille in Tel Aviv. That's what all these friendlies have been building towards. This is what Spanish sides do so well. Keep the ball, retain possession. There's the commentator's curse again. Well, I best shut up. Great control from the air, Ortiz. There have been some fruity tackles this second half. Well, here's the PSG equaliser again. Wendo involved 3 times. Icardi, the fox in the box. That's what he does best. Campos. Trying to get behind the defence. Easy take in the end for Keylor Navas. Oscar's cross deflected. PSG have won the ball back. They're giving it away. Now it's 4 against 4. Wendo. Good call by Draxler. Can he get there first? Well, he can. But the goalkeeper stood tall. Well played, Bono. Now Sevilla get lucky with the rebound, that is, Ocampos. The game's opening up. End-to-end stuff now. Ocampos drifts past Hakimi. Munir. Oh, what a sublime goal! Absolutely stunning. Oscar Rodriguez. Absolutely nothing Keylor Navas could do about that. Peach of a goal. And Sevilla are back in front. Well, Oscar started it, combining well with Ocampos, making space for himself, opening up his right boot before curling that shot past the outstretched arms of the Costa Rican Navas. Perfect placement. Well, as suspected, Herrera makes way. and it's Edouard Michou who comes on to replace him. His first appearance in these pre-season friendlies. Well, Rakitic is off. Replaced by Johansson. Suso is off as well. So at least 2 substitutions for Sevilla and the one for PSG. And this, as I said, the first appearance in the pre-season friendlies for 18-year-old Edouard Michou. Let's see if he can impress Pochettino in the, some 30 minutes left in the game. Sevilla, though, back on the ball, energized by that lead. Simons. That's a good ding-dong battle in midfield. And it goes the way of PSG. Always good to win your duels. There is Michou. Ball comes to Kaliwendo. Gives it back to Vicardi. Appeals for offside. Given by the referee. PSG, some 25 minutes left to get back into the game. They want to maintain their unbeaten record in friendlies in this pre-season. Hakimi. Okay, under pressure. Forced to pass all the way back to his goalkeeper. And give you some transfer news of goalkeepers. Garrison Innocent has just been loaned out to Vanves in the 4th tier of France football. He just got back from a loan at Caen. So good luck to him this season. Talking of goalkeepers, Sergio Rico is another PSG player who's played here, or played for Sevilla, rather. Hasn't made the journey. Michou with another ball over the top, and it was worth it. And they weren't too sure about that. There's Karim Rekic taking no chances. Kaliwendo cuts inside, pulls the trigger. That's a good save by Bono. Kaliwendo having a very, very good half. Some people thought he might start the game. Oscar. And he just gave Sevilla the lead. Nicely done. No, that's well played. Very well played indeed. Tediello. Renowned for his hard work and excellent stamina, not to mention his speed. One for Icardi to chase, which he does. That was a good press by PSG. A bit of space here though for Sevilla. Navas. This is where the goal came from, the second goal. It was well done. Well, he lost the duel there. Oh, terrific speed by Simons. Left his man for dead. Calimundo. Up against Jose Angel. Gate thought about the shot. Not his best effort. Not renowned for his goal scoring, it has to be said. Idrissa Gueye. Just 2 goals in the league last season. In his 28 matches. That's the goal scorer, Oscar. With 20 minutes left. Severe lead, but there are still goals in this game, I feel. Juanlu. That was telegraphed. Oh dear. Muscular challenge with the shoulder by Hakimi. Twice. Renowned for his speed. Johansson, not best pleased with the referee of words. More substitutions for PSG. Fadiga about to come on. Hakimi comes off. Replaced by Bitumazala. Fadiga replaces the captain, Idrissa Gueye. And the captain's armband, that goes to Julian Draxler. And that's a reversal of what happened in the last friendly against Orléans. Draxler started that game as captain. Juanlu seen a lot of the ball since he came on. Mr. Winger. Outside. We were just about to see the first duel for the substitute, Bitumazala. We'll have to wait. Oh, lovely ball. Nobody on the end of it. Calimundo and Icardi just slightly behind the play there. Can you keep it in? Easily. In fact, it's a severe throw. And here come more substitutions. So off comes Rekic. Dutch defender. And a decent enough game. And that's the goal scorer making his way as well. So this man, Pozzo, replaces Rekic, and off comes the captain, Jesus Navas. He's replaced by Idrissi. Changes galore, as is the case in Sevilla's first two friendlies. Their season starts a week later than in France. Juanlu. Icardi, and the referee slightly getting in the way of Fadiga there. Whistle's gone, wouldn't have counted anyway. Offside perhaps? Did he just stray offside? It was Teddy Diallo. Teddy Diallo replaced Levin Kurzawa. Abdou Diallo replaced Bichiabu. That's well won by Draxler. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Well, he did well to find a teammate there. And that's a good interception from Draxler's pass. The man who's been causing problems, Juanlu. Decent ball in, nobody there. Well, that's a let-off for PSG. Danger still alive. Ball drilled in. Abdou Diallo, he certainly felt that. Letting the referee know as well. Make a note of that. Just under 15 minutes left here in the Algarve. Michu. Looking for the pass, keeps it simple, gets a deflection of Simons, but he'll take it. To Mazzala. Dispossessed. Good cover by Michu. He took a gamble there, did Michu. He's not the most powerfully built. Looking to get round Idrissi. And more substitutions. Off comes the PSG goal scorer, Mauro Icardi. He'll be replaced by Alexandre Frezange. Chance to see the goal again. Great assist by Kalimwendo. And Julian Draxler makes way for Naguera. Well, PSG chasing the game, looking to hit back for a second time. But I wonder if all these substitutions will help or hinder that cohesion. Maurizio Pochettino, he's taken off the very experienced players, and now it really is the youngsters who were left on the pitch. Good ball by Michu. Into the path of Presange. And he's won a corner kick. Getting the better of Perez. Unorthodox, but it paid off. Corner kick. Central defenders are up. And the Sevilla defender didn't know too much about that. Ten minutes to go. Between Mazzala. Easy ball, a little bit too much on it though. Diallo. Another run out, featured a lot. Thilo Kehrer, most experienced man left in defence. That's for sure. Alongside Abdou Diallo. Jose Angel back to his keeper, Bono. Johansson. Well, goalkeeper's not in a rush. I'm suggesting he's counting down the clock, but there really wasn't much on, but there is now. Space opens up on the counter-attack. Ball falls kindly. Oh, it's a complete miss-hit. Brilliant save by Navas. Well, a comedy sequence there for Sevilla. A complete miss-hit actually led to a very good pass. Navas' reflexes saving the day, keeping PSG in the game. 3-1 down, that would have been game over. Good tackle by Angel. Juanlu. Johansson. Decent ball. Good triangles by Sevilla. Perez. Johansson. Swedish father, but up to play international football for his mother's country, Republic of Ireland. Issue. Babyface, he's only 18 years of age. Actually played for the first team, came under the sub last season, away at Dijon in February. Referee just having a quick word to calm things down. Here's the chance again, and that was a complete miss-hit. But it actually nearly led to a very good chance for Juanlu, and a point-blank save by Navas. 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, not to mention stoppage time. 2 minutes seems to be the norm in these friendlies. PSG still in the game, thanks to Keylor Navas's cat-like reflexes. To Mazzala. Gets it back onto his right foot. Simons needs to get behind the defence. Strong challenge. The Dutch teenager appeals for a penalty. He'll have to settle for a corner. Nice ball for the fullback Bitu Mazzala. It was a heavy challenge by Juan. Corner kick is short, doesn't beat the first defender. A chance of a counter for Sevilla. Unceremoniously brought down by Diallo. Yellow card for him. Taking one for the team, you call that? Johansson. Dropping deep is the attacking midfielder. One ball. Anyway, that's a good sign for PSG. And Sevilla are resorting to that. And Fadiga cuts inside. Michu. Frezange gets the ball back. It's a decent ball in. Straight out to Michu. And it was a reflex shot. Ball came to him in a flash. There's confirmation of that yellow card for Diallo. Well, he holds his head in his hands. Not much else he could have done, though. Ball came at him really quickly. Corner kick is better, but still clear. Bitu Mazzala just about does enough. Ball nearly got stuck between his feet. Simons keeps it simple. It's done well since he came on for Dina Imbimbe. 50-50. Kalimwendo pulls the trigger. Great save by Bono. Oh no! Another own goal. Oh yeah. Bono, understandably livid with that. Well, I don't think you need to be a fluent Spanish speaker to understand his disappointment. Well, would you believe it? Lightning strikes twice at Paris Saint-Germain. A comedy own goal gave PSG victory against Orléans, and it's the same again. Now, who was that? Kalimwendo with a shot. It's a good save. The defence goes to sleep. I wonder, will Naguera claim it? Football, it's a funny old game. Michu. Well, 2-2. And there's still time here for PSG to snatch a victory. Now, wouldn't that be something? Mishu. Nicely done. Well, he's appealing for a foul. Well, Kenny Nagera has been credited with the goal. Simons. Did he save the corner kick? No is the answer. Jose Angel. No, Pozzo, I beg his pardon. He disagrees. It's often the case. Simons. Corner kick. It's deep. Not a convincing header. Nagera. Right-footed. Frézange. Simons wasn't used. He was in a good position, though. Didn't give the call. Here he is now. Still with PSG. Diallo. Mishu. And he's already got one goal. Not a second time. Oh, very, very confident play by the Sevilla defence. Maybe a bit too confident for the coach's liking. Good first touch. Feeding Simons. So direct. He's going all the way. All the way. His chip just off target. But they get another corner. Well, he looks anguished, doesn't he? Route one for Simons. Only one thing on his mind. Great dummy. Nice chip. Right idea. And he did get a deflection. And he wears his heart on his sleeves. It's a late substitution by Sevilla. Racing on, you can't accuse him of time wasting, can you? Well, that was a side netting, but Bono had to scramble across. Four minutes of additional time, and we're 2 minutes into it. Still time. Clock's ticking down, but it only takes a second to score a goal. And PSG, well, they have the momentum after that equaliser. Confirmation that Jose Angel has been replaced by Aspar. That's the young lad who raced onto the pitch just before the corner. Full stretch. It turns out to be a very good pass. Offside. And there's no need for that. Pozzo tangling with Kera. And that was a bit too casual by Frézange. And that's very good defensive cover by Diallo. Well, Frézange owes him there. Owes him, I should say. And he's won a goal kick as well. Denying a racket. Ball just bounced off the boot. It's a pity for PSG. It's a nice switch. Gutumazala does well to keep the ball in play and win the corner kick. Pochettino looks on. Discussion between PSG centre-backs. Oh, it would have been spectacular had it been on target. Worth an effort, though. Last chance saloon now. 20 seconds left. Twice PSG have shown their character by coming from behind to equalise. And that looks like it'll be the final score. Or will it? Raggedy defending by Sevilla. And there is the final whistle. Final score 2-2. Twice PSG showed their mettle coming from behind. And that's a great shot between the two coaches, Lopetegui and Maurizio Pochettino. Oh, Xavi Simons is disappointed. He needn't be. He had a good second half when he came on, as indeed did all the youngsters. Final score here, 2-2. And that sets up PSG nicely for Sunday's Champions Trophy game in Tel Aviv, Israel, against the French champions, Lyon. Hope you've enjoyed the action. With me, Tony Jeffers. Apologies again for the loss of your picture at the start of the first half. Circumstances beyond our control. Look forward to your company next Sunday for the Champions Trophy. They beat Las Palmas 1-0 in their previous